I am here at the PetSmart in Puyallup, the Sunrise Village, with Sally at the Puyallup Animal Rescue. Hi, Sally.
Hi.
Thank you for interviewing with me today.
You're more than welcome.
It has been a very busy day here, which is a great thing. Can you introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about Puyallup Animal Rescue?
So, my name is Sally, and I'm the president of Puyallup Animal Rescue. So, Puyallup Animal Rescue was started in 1984 by a lady named Vicky Pearson. And it started because the shelter for Puyallup was down where Fred Meyer is right now. On River Road. It used to be a really awful shelter full of rats and everything, and they didn't have an adoption program down there. So any pets they picked up, unless the owner came and claimed them back, they went to the Film and Humane Society and got euthanized because there wasn't any room for them. And so Vicky found out about that, and she thought that was just a bit terrible, and so she started an adoption with them. So, and she did that for 10 years, and they finally closed that shelter in 1995. Okay, which is when I happened to join them, and I took the last dog out of there. Her name was Magic, and she was a black lab. And she was my very first foster dog, and she got adopted, and of course now she's passed away. That was quite a few years ago.
She had a good life.
She had a good life, right? And that was the same year that PetSmart and the one down by the South Hill Mall opened. And so we started out being one of the first rescue groups down there. And so we had an adoption program there, and then they opened this store, which is up in the Sunrise Village Center. And so because I live out in Roy, and a lot of us live out in the Graham Roy area, this was closer to us, so we moved here. And it's been a wonderful partnership for us. All of our dogs are in foster homes. We don't have a shelter. And so this is a place we can bring them all together. And so people can come and meet and greet them and hopefully take them home.
Yeah.
And today has been amazing because we've done 5 adoptions already.
Oh, there's empty crates behind us that you can't see, which has been great. Getting to know the pups, and they get to go home. So I love that you guys don't actually have a shelter, that they stay in cages. They get to go home with somebody, and they're fostered. That is amazing.
Yes.
And
then we get to know their personalities a little bit, so that when we talk to people, we know a lot more about them.
Yeah, and then they're more regulated to be at a home rather than be at a shelter. How many animals do you typically care for?
In a year, we probably adopt out between 200 and 300.
Wow.
Half dogs, half cats. I think we went down to the cat area because we have cats too. I deal mostly with the dogs, and a lady named Monica does most of the cats now. Because unfortunately, Vicky passed away. She must be almost 6 years ago. So I took over from her.
Where do you get most of the dogs?
Most of our dogs come from other shelters. We take them out of the metro, which is the Puyallup shelter. And we also do a lot from the Yakima area. We work with a rescue group from Yakima, and they have a huge problem over there with dump dogs and puppies and everything. So the majority of the dogs come from there. In fact, all of the dogs except for one today have come to me.
Oh, wow. So what does the adoption process look like for somebody? If they saw a dog on your website, if they came in, what would they have to do?
So what we do is that we post all our dogs on our Facebook page and on Pet Finder, and we ask them to email us for an application. And so hopefully people email for them an application. So then we can go through it. If they are renting, we check with the landlord to make sure that the pet is appropriate for an apartment or whatever. We check to make sure they really do own their own home. And they have fenced yards, those kind of things. Because most of our dogs we prefer fenced yards for.
Yes.
And so then if we approve the application, we then make arrangements for them to come and meet the dog here. And if it's a match, they get to take her home.
So you do most of your meeting at this PetSmart?
We do.
Okay.
We do. Because, all our dogs are in private homes, and so we don't want strange people coming to our private homes. So.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense. Do you have any kind of heartwarming stories that have happened maybe over time? Like anything special? Any heartwarming stories of any pets that you can think of? A million of them?
A million. So, let's see. I could think of, there's one beautiful pit bill that we had, that somebody was driving down 512 with it in a cage on the back of a trailer, and she jumped out onto the freeway.
Oh wow!
And they just left her. And so she was badly scarred up and everything. And we took her in and got her all fixed up, and so she's now been in her home now for 5 years and is doing really, really well. And we called her Freeway because she was Freeway. So
yeah, she has a story with Freeway for sure.
Recently, we have a little a golden doodle.
Oh, I love that.
Yes, named. We named him Walter, and his mother sat on his leg when he was 6 weeks old, and we went to the vet, and the breeder didn't want to spend the money because she couldn't make the money on the breeding, and so we also sometimes get pets from the vets, and so we took him, and we eventually had to amputate the leg because it was badly damaged, and he's adopted, and he's in a wonderful home now. So all of our pets, depend if they're sick or old or whatever, we do everything that they need. You probably noticed that we have 2 really old dogs right here.
Charles Barkley.
Yes, Charles Barkley. We just took in yesterday, so they still have to go to the vet, but they're going to have to, teeth done and everything before they actually go to a new home.
Okay, so who funds this? Because it's nonprofit.
We're a nonprofit, so people donate to us.
Okay, good.
And that's basically where we get our money in. Our adoption fees don't really cover all of our vet fees. Our biggest expense, of course, is vet fees. And puppies we charge $350 for.
Okay.
And every pet we have is spay-neutered, microchipped, have shots, and wormed, and any health problems they have are taken care of.
It's actually a really good price for all of that stuff.
It's very
expensive. So we know that you collaborate with PetSmart. Do you collaborate with any other organizations?
No. Well, sometimes we go to the Alvin Valley Humane Society.
Okay.
Used to have Bark Fest. And then the South Hill at Hounds on the Hill. Yeah, that's one of our favorite ones.
Yes.
Hounds on the Hill. Yeah.
And that one's at the what's that park?
Bradley Park.
Bradley Lake Park. Yes.
Bradley Park, yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Are there any more upcoming events that they can look forward to?
So we're here at PetSmart every first and third Saturday of every month.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
and you got lots more puppies coming in, I'm sure that people.
I do. I have a mama dog right now. She only weighs 27 pounds. She had 13 puppies.
Wow.
And she came from Yakima. And she came when the puppies were 3 days old.
Oh, wow.
So,
that's a lot of pups.
So they'll be ready in beginning of February.
Yeah. People like puppies to take home, so that's perfect. Well, you're doing great things. So thank you very much for this. And yeah, I hope you do great.
Yeah.